Hello, buddy, and welcome to the Gaming Lounge Podcast, episode 70. Once again, I'm your host, Sebastian, and as always, I'm joined by Dory. How you doing, Dory?
Hello, I'm doing well. I am starting some student observations this week, so little nervous about that, but hopefully it goes well. It's been not as busy for games, kind of, but also we're just about to get two heavy hitters in Hades 2 and Silent Hill F. So looking forward to both of those games. This week we're going to be talking about a bunch of showcases, indie showcases that happened. Some of the games that you might have already heard us talk about. So we probably won't spend a lot of time on those individual games, but there's also some new ones. I also played a couple of demos for Alabaster Dawn and Crisol. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a Spanish word, but so I'll fit that in there because I believe it is. Yes, the demo is mentioned in one of the showcases for Crisol, and then I don't know if Alabaster Dawn was, but I'll mention it at the end either way because it did come out. The demo came out, I should say.
And I'm going to talk about Hollow Knight Silksong. That would be our main topic of the night. I have completed it, so I do want to talk about it. All right, so let's start with our three showcases. So very unusual. We got three showcases. Basically, it was like the same day. I want to say, or it was
Yeah, they're all like within a day of each other, or
yeah.
at least in the same week. It was pretty wild.
Now a lot of them were of games that we've talked about already. Like there was several repeats. It was just kind of updates on those games, and the Convergence one was like mostly interviews. So I kind of fast forward through half
Yeah,
of it. I didn't really
yeah,
care about that.
that was a tough watch. It wasn't really super interesting, but there's a couple games I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, there's a couple games I put on my list as well. But let's start with the Devs of Color showcase, starting with Kajora, which actually was supposed to come out this month, and then they got delayed till next year. So let me put it up on Steam really quick, and just to read the description. All right. So it says when Kajora realizes that her peaceful village has been reliving the same day over and over, she and her friends seek out to try and uncover the origin of the mysterious time loop cursed on her village. So as we talked about before with this game, I really like the anime art style in this game. It looks like a 2D platformer, mostly dialogue heavy, but some puzzles as well. It looks the art style alone just draws me in more than anything else. And as I said, it got delayed till next year. It was supposed to come out like I think it was like the 5th of this month, and it got moved all the way to January 7th to be exact. Dory, this wasn't on your list, but it was on your list before. Did anything change that made you not put it on your list?
What changed is that I have a terrible sense of putting things on my list, apparently. No, this definitely would have been on my list, but I completely forgot to put it on. There's a demo if folks want to play it, and I enjoyed it. So go check it out. It doesn't have any ratings, but I enjoyed my time with it. It's a very cute, like you said, kind of gives me Ghibli vibes. If you already didn't say that, but like you said, anime vibes.
Yeah.
It's very cozy, very cute, but there's a kind of sinister core going on here with the mystery and monsters. I also didn't notice that it got delayed, so just wasn't paying much attention. I think you know what I was doing. I think I was what I think what I was doing was I was working while I was listening to this specific direct, and so I didn't know, certain things might have escaped me. But regardless, yeah, I am still looking forward to Kajora, and this would have been on my list had I remembered to put it up. But either way, it's looking good, and I'm sorry to see it get delayed, but I'm sure it'll still be good. Looks like a well polished game.
Absolutely. All right. The next game was Kid Bash Super Legend, which I've talked about before as well. This is basically a 3D, 2D game. Reminds me a lot of Mega Man, or where but you have like a sword and a gun, so you're using both melee and range weapons in this game. I really like the art style in this game because it feels like a claymation in a way, and I like the mix of 2D and 3D. So it's basically like a Mega Man game but with a sword. I just like a lot about it. I mean, it even starts with like the trailer starts with like an old school '90s TV, so to give you like a retro vibe to it. So I'm really like what I'm seeing of this game, and we still don't have a release date for it, but hopefully it comes out soon. Although it is labeled a roguelike, which I didn't get that from the actual gameplay or trailer, but I guess it is roguelite, so keep that in mind. But the description says, in this nostalgic roguelike action platformer, awaken in a world of forgotten game characters as a hero with no memory of his past. After failing to save a nearby village from destruction, can you rise, rebuild, and rediscover the true meaning of being a hero? So I'm looking forward to this game. All right, the next game was A Heavy Morning, which you have on your list as well as mine. So can you tell us about Heavy Morning?
Yeah, so Heavy Morning, we've talked about this before, but
Yeah,
this game is it's a bit like philosophical, I guess, in some ways.
yeah,
It's tackling certain themes and topics about depression and stuff like that, and anxiety. So the Steam description is talking about the feeling of struggling to get out of bed. You will play as a young girl battling with her own mind. Your only objective is to get out of bed and get to work on time. So very, kind of grounded, but also very fanciful. And I really like the art style. It's very evocative, very striking. And all of the trailers that we've seen so far are very interesting. They remind me of like those very experimental like animation movies that we used to get in the 90s and 2000s. I don't know if you remember what I'm talking about, Seb, but
yeah,
like a very particular kind of vibe that you would get from like like late animated movies that would come on like really late at night when no one was watching.
yeah,
But yeah, I really like it. I think it looks really cool. It seems to be confronting themes that are very important to a lot of people. It's described as a visual novel, psychological. There's some puzzles involved, but I haven't seen anything in the trailers to make me think, oh, this is the puzzle is the point, right? The puzzles are going to be super unfair or super hard. It seems like the narrative is the point, so that's why I'm
yeah.
interested.
It's a point and click game, and a
Yeah.
visual novel. It's a Dory game.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm interested in this kind of game. I'm not like super excited. You're probably more into it than me, but I do like a good visual novel and a good narrative, and a good point and click game. So I grew up with these kind of games in the '90s. As I always say with these kind of games, if it doesn't overstay its welcome and it's not overly long, I usually enjoy these games. Tell me a nice little indie story for a couple hours, and that's what I like from these kind of games. Which that's probably what this game's gonna be. I don't imagine this game's gonna be like 10 hours long, 15 hours long, but maybe. All right. The next game was Don't Get Your Hopes Up, which I did not have on my list. That was on Dory's list. So can you tell us about that game?
You want to talk about Dory ass Dory games?
Yeah,
This is it right here.
yeah.
You are
I thought
looking
of
for
you
an
as soon as I saw it.
Yeah. You're looking for a new apartment in Amsterdam. Your once confident search is morphing into panic. Nothing is available. Anything will do. Anything is the description on Steam.
Yeah,
Um, it's described as visual novel, an adventure, kind of comic book esque. It's obviously a commentary on capitalism, which is very me coded. It's, focused on the narrative, which is me. It's very fucking weird if you see the animation and the way it is. It's available now on Steam, which I didn't even realize, and you could just play it. It's just free. So go play it. But it looks really cool. I'm gonna go check it out. Maybe I'll talk about it next week. I can't imagine it's very long. There's already some reviews up, and they're all positive. It's a very small amount of reviews, but yeah,
yeah,
it's very short. It's like an hour or less long. So I think the most hours I see here is like 3.6.
yeah. I added it to my library because why not? It's free.
Yeah, it's free. So it seems to be kind of more a experimental video game, and it's about the message more than the gameplay experience. But I thought it looked really cool. So
No worries. And the next game you had on your list was Loading, as well.
yes. So as a reminder, someone.
That's Dory's dog barking.
That's my
So
dog
people know.
Xena. She hears noises and then she gets very upset and then she'll bark. But Loading is about a 10-year-old It is 2005. Your brother's dead. That's fun. And there's nothing to do but play video games. Again, another like narrative experience where I wasn't really sure, honestly, what the fuck was going on,
Yeah.
but I really liked the visual style and I liked the weird vibes it was giving off. Also, I mean, I grew up in 2005. I was in high school, I think, or late middle school, and
I was
yeah,
in I
I
was in
think it's
seventh
really
I was in 7th grade, so you would have been in 8th grade, I suppose.
yes. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. There's some more descriptions like while ignoring your mom and grandparents, you can find out why everybody, including your own body, is turning against you in a slice of life role playing video game. Meet your late brother's awful friends in an online first person shooter as they search for a hidden sex scene. Remember, everybody was doing that. You can
Yeah.
also grow up. You know, it looks very fucking weird, and I liked it.
Cool. The next game that was on both of our lists was Opus Prism Peak, which we talked about several times now. It's appeared at several shows on our podcast. And it says it's a narrative driven adventure game where you play as a wary photographer who finds himself caught outside of reality. Using your old camera, you'll explore an ethereal realm and its ties to the world you left behind, uncover its mysteries, and ultimately find your way home. Okay, so the release date is this year, so it should come out this time of the year. And and on top of it on Steam, it says Tokyo Game Show, so we're probably going to see more of this game at the Tokyo Game Show, which is also this week. This is the kind of game that Dory and I will both be into. It's a narrative game. Choices matter. It's going to be emotional, and it's very like Life is Strange, very that kind of vibe to it with the taking pictures in the woods, the kind of thing. Like it's basically like Life is Strange, but like with anime characters, that kind of art style.
Yep.
That's why it appeals to both of us. Any thoughts on this game?
No, you know, we've talked about it a few times, but I think it looks great. It looks fun. There's a photography element that sounds cool to me. There's, you know, this kind of companionship between this burnt out guy and this little girl, which I think I'm always a sucker for that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think this looks really cute, and I'm excited to see how it does and how it fares eventually.
All right, no problem. The next game was Mira and the Legend of the Jinns, which I have on my list, and it's because it's a Metroidvania, which doesn't usually appeal to Dory generally. But on Steam, it says it's an epic 2D pixel art style Metroidvania inspired by Moroccan culture and spiritual traditions. Wield powerful ancient weapons and forge your way through unrelenting deserts, crumbling necropoli, floating islands, and dangerous mountains as you try to uncover the secret of the last Jinn. The thing that appeals to me is the gameplay looks a lot of fun, and the art style looks really nice. I like the uniqueness of the locations. The boss fights look like they were fun to play. I don't know how hard it's gonna be. It looks like it reminded me of like maybe a smaller Hollow Knight with a different art style, but I just thought it looked cool. So I do enjoy Metroidvanias. I don't enjoy them a lot. I'm not one of the people. A lot of people like to play like many of these games. I like to play a few of them. So I'm interested. I'm not like, oh my god, I'm definitely getting this day one or anything, but it's definitely gonna be on my wish list. And yeah, I think it looks cool. And apparently it comes out this year, so I'll keep an eye on it. All right, the next game was Detective Dodson or Dawson. How do you say it, Dawson?
It's Dotson.
Dodson. So chapter 2. So it's already out, but this is the chapter 2. This is a continuation
Yeah,
of the story.
I have it on my list, but I have it on my list kind of reluctantly. I also am just using this as an excuse to talk about Detective Dodson because I did play it, but we never talked about it. And the reason we never talked about it is because it's okay. I just don't really know how I feel about their main method of gathering clues, which is just trading things for people that want certain things, and then you get certain stuff from them, and it's like that fucking Ed, Edd n Eddy episode where like they give the one thing to someone else, so they can get that thing, so they can get that thing, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, like somebody said on Steam, it's just kind of repetitive, and it's not super interesting. It's not bad though. Like I think the sprite work is really really cool. And I like the basic plot and the setup, and I generally appreciate people of other cultures like making these kind of games. So I wanted to give it a shot. And I wouldn't say it was a waste of my time, but I wouldn't say I loved it either. So I don't know. It's a free update. So maybe they'll do something better with the second chapter, but I kind of doubt it. I don't know. I spent about 3 hours on this game, and there was like a cliffhanger, and I was kind of like, oh, okay. It was just kind of one of those endings where you're like, I guess. So it's setting up more, obviously, but I wasn't blown away.
No problem. So the next game was Skate Story, which I've been waiting for this game for like ever. I feel like we the last time we talked about this game was like on the last podcast that we did a couple years ago, and
Oh wow.
still hasn't come out yet. They didn't really show anything at the showcase, but it was just a reminder that's coming out. It's still supposed to come out this year. It says 2025 on Steam. It's from Devolver Digital, so that alone keeps me interested in it. So if you the Steam description says it says ollie, kickflip, and grind your way through the ash and smoke of the underworld as you take on a seemingly impossible quest. Skate fast to destroy demons and save other tortured souls on your journey from a fragile beginner to a hardened skater. I mean, I already love skateboarding games. We've talked about Tony Hawk plenty of times in this podcast, and then the animation is really cool. The art style is really cool. The locations really stand out. It looks like a badass game. I mean, I'm really interested in this game. It's Devolver. I always trust Devolver's games. They always make quality games that I usually
Yeah.
like. So this is totally me. I'm kind of surprised it's not on your list, to be honest with you. But again, it might just be one of the things you just forgot to put on your list.
Yeah, I didn't really know what to think of this and didn't remember it from the last time we talked about it.
Yeah, that was like 2 years
I
ago.
yeah, I don't know. Like I do like skateboarding, but honestly, as a game type, but I don't usually play other skateboarding games besides Tony Hawk, and that's mainly
Sure.
for the nostalgia. So this
Yeah.
doesn't really do anything. I do think the style of animation is really cool,
Yeah.
but other than that, I didn't really think much of it.
Not that there's many of them, and it's only Tony Hawk and Skate, really, right? In Ollie World.
Yeah,
That's the only thing I could think of. Yeah. All right. The next game was Lily's World XD, which you have on your list, and I just feel
yeah,
like Adore.
we've talked about it before. This is a psychological horror game. It's using kind of cutesy, retro-ish 2000s imagery, which
Yeah.
I like and think is really cute.
Yeah.
Basically,
MySpace.
yeah, you're using MySpace AIM kind of knockoffs. You're channeling your inner 2000s teen as you read a young girl's old conversations and embarrassing selfies, and then eventually it gets dark and it gets weird. But we've talked about this before.
Yeah, this is definitely a you game, 100%.
Yep.
This is the kind of game where I'd not like I wouldn't buy it, but like I would totally play it if you bought it, right? I would try it out
Yeah.
for sure. All right, the next game was Goodbye Soul, which is a pixel 2D platformer, which I thought looked really cool. I loved the art style of it, and the post-apocalyptic like South Korea was really cool. I'm very interested in it. Obviously what they showed at the showcase was like all in Korean, so I wasn't able to read what the dialogue was or everything, but I'm sure they're gonna translate it in English, I would assume. So, but I thought everything looked really cool. It reminded me of Inside. Like it was basically Inside, like that kind of world, but like in Korea. So that was cool. But the actual description says 6 months before the asteroid strike and a new beginning. Goodbye Soul is a narrative puzzle adventure set in a desolate yet hauntingly beautiful post-apocalyptic Seoul. Will you uncover the truth before time runs out? So this is obviously more of a me game than Dory. I do love me a 2D platformer, especially a puzzle one. Inside, Limbo, Little Nightmares, those are all like some of my favorite games ever. So this is totally me. Any interest in this at all? Do you remember this game?
I like the pixel style. I'm watching the rewatching the trailer right now. I like the pixel style, and I think it's a really cool setting. And
Yeah.
Post-apocalyptic is a fun setting as well, but I'm not really into the kind of inside limbo-esque games. I've given quite a few of them a shot over the years, and they never really jive with me. But I do think it looks great.
Yeah. No worries. The next one was Compress Space, which door you have on your
All right.
list.
I know what you're gonna say. You're surprised to see it on my list. I almost didn't put it on my list, but I gotta say, I fucking love this art style, and that's honestly the main reason why. I
Yeah.
just wanted to shout it out because it's got such a cool art style.
Yeah.
And I think it's such a neat idea of a puzzle game. I want to there's a me in there that I want to imagine would play this game and enjoy it, but that's probably not going to happen because I don't like puzzle heavy games and I don't like
Yeah.
logic heavy games. But I just wanted to mostly shout this out for the art style.
Yeah, that's the main reason it appealed to me as well. And I usually don't like puzzle games as well. It was kind of remind me of Celeste because the main character had like pink flowing hair. I mean, it doesn't have the same art style, but it just same kind of vibe is what I was getting. But yeah,
Right.
I think it's really pretty to look at, but I don't think it's gonna be for me because I don't like puzzles like that.
Yeah, I probably won't get it. And, we don't always highlight games we're going to get, just games we want to highlight or shout out.
Yeah, I think people should at least know about the game if they're interested. All right, the last game from this showcase that we both have on our list was Codex Eternal Eclipse, which is an RPG that tells a story about tragedy viewed through charming eyes. Codex is a story-rich, turn-based RPG where timing matters and karma shapes fate. So this is a story-driven game. It has pixel graphics. It's one of those 2.5D games, so it's a mix between 2D and 3D. Dory has discovered art turn-based RPGs in recent years.
Right.
Now a genre you like, and the way it's just saying where it's describing like timing matters is like it's gonna be. I guess it's gonna be like Expedition 33 or Mario RPG where you have to time your blocks or whatever. But overall, I thought the world was really interesting looking. I thought the character models look great. The animation was clean and cool. I like I'm just vibing with the game, like the way everything looks. Like this is the kind of game I really enjoy overall. I really like the art style. It was kind of like Mega Man, but like as an RPG. What about it appealed to you?
Yeah, I love the art style, similar to you. I think the turn base looks really cool. Um, yeah, I mean that's really it. I mean the gameplay looks cool and the aesthetic looks cool, and I don't need a lot more than that for these kind of games. Those are the main parts of it. It says that it's story rich, turn based. Like you said, timing matters. So you're going to be attacking, defending, probably having to press buttons at the right time and stuff, which helps makes things more engaging for some, but exhausts other people who just kind of want a more chill and less involved vibe, which I also respect. But yeah, looking forward to this one. It looks cool.
Awesome. All right. So the next, so we're done with that showcase. So now we're going to switch to the 6-1 indie showcase, starting with 3 games that I had on my list. Starting with Lucid, which says on Steam, discover your own legend in Lucid, platform through a crystalline world torn apart by calamity, absorb powerful abilities that expand movement and enhance combat against a diverse cast of enemies and bosses. All in all, gorgeous pixel art inspired by the golden age of 2D side scrollers. So I thought it looked really cool. I love the art style. I know we're gonna keep saying that, but one of the main appeals of indie games, right, is unique art styles. It's a Metroidvania, so again, it's not really gonna appeal to Dory. It's a precision platformer too, so you have to have very precise jumps. But I just love the world. It looked like it might be a difficult game. I don't know, but it definitely had like that Super Meat Boy like platforming or Celeste, and like so it does look like it's gonna require very precise timing with the jump. I'm watching the trailer right now, and the jumps look very precise. So it's probably gonna be a difficult game, but I just love the art style. I'm curious I'm curious if it's gonna have a good story or not, but I wouldn't say I'm like super excited for this. I might probably not play this, but I just thought it looked cool. So, Dory, do you have any thoughts on this game?
I like that it calls itself a Celestivania or whatever in the trailer. I thought that was a neat touch.
Yeah.
But yeah, not for me. I even tried Celeste itself at one point and it didn't gel with me, which I was really sad about.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Celeste is one of the exceptions. I usually don't like those kind of games, and I really loved Celeste.
Yeah,
I
although it's worth pointing out I didn't have a controller at the time and I didn't have a mouse at the time, so maybe if I played with a controller I'd like it more.
Yeah, I'm due for a replay of that. It's been a long time since I played that. All right, the next game on my list was Demon Tides, which is a 3D platformer. Definitely more of a me game than Dory as well. Like I do love me a 3D platformer. And it says on Steam, explore the open seas and uncover the kingdom's dark secrets as you expressively platform your way across dozens of locales, upgrading your gear every step of the way. So this game has definitely different cast of characters. Kind of remind me of. I mean, the characters are just they're very anime, little like demon-looking characters. It's kind of giving me Splatoon vibes. Not in the gameplay, just the way the characters look. I don't know. It feels very like early 2000s Sega Dreamcast game. You know what I'm talking about? It just very early PS2 kind of game. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
this is something I would rent at Blockbuster when I was a kid. So that's what
Yeah.
appeals to me about it. I might really like this game actually. Comes out this year. It's probably gonna be a little janky. I'm not expecting like a purely polished Mario Odyssey level kind of platformer, but if it's a solid game, I'll probably enjoy it. So I'll keep an eye on it. I'm not like over the moon over it or anything like that, but I just thought it looked cool, so just wanted to shout it out. I'm assuming this has no interest to you, Dory. So
No.
yeah, and then the last game that was of the three games to start off was On Any Journey, which I thought had a really cool art style. I mean, it did like multiple genres in the same game. Like it jumped around so much,
Yeah.
but it says on Steam, Kai, Mateo, and Summer grew up in an ordinary town. They felt the weight of their differences, which made them feel shy and inferior. In a bid to fit in, they made a wish to embark on a challenging adventure, hoping to make their wishes come true. So this game, I mean, first of all, it was reminding me of like those 2D narrative games where there's dialogue choices and stuff like that. I'm thinking of like what do you call it? What are those games? What is that game called with this dialogue and there's aliens and
Oh,
Netflix owns it.
yeah, I know exactly what you mean though.
I'm blanking the name, but
I'm now blanking as well.
either way, that's what it was giving me those narrative games, and then it was also mixing in like Cuphead, and then I was there's definitely a lot of Cuphead vibe here. And then like I don't know, it's just a mix of every genre really. It was going for like
Oxenfree.
Oxenfree, thank you. That's what I'm thinking about. Those kind of
Yes.
games. There's the other one with the devil. Where you're hanging out with like you know what I'm talking about too.
Cuphead?
No, the game with the devil, like with the story driven with the boy and the girl.
Oh, yes, I know. The
After
same
party
studio did that one.
after
But
party
yes.
after party.
Yeah, After Party.
It reminded me of that, but it was like it just had multiple genres mixed together. I thought it would look cool.
It gave me Cuphead vibes with some of especially with the boss section where you're fighting that. I don't know what it is. But it's saying arcade time and then it transforms.
Yeah,
It reminded me of Cuphead, so I
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
what's going on there, but it looks very interesting.
Yeah, so the mix of genres reminded me of like It Takes Two or something like that. So I thought that was cool. So I'm very interested in this game. I'll keep an eye on it. There's no release date or anything, so but I'm gonna assume it comes out next year. If any game that says coming soon at this point of the year, I'm gonna assume it's coming out next year or later. I think it would have said 2025 if they were aiming for it. So, any interest?
No, not really. Co-op games are really hit or miss with me, and I'm not super into side scrollers or puzzle games.
No problem. Now, Mr. Sleepy Man, that soundtrack was a banger. Like that was
And that is exactly why I have it.
yeah. So it says Mr. Sleepy Man is way up past his bedtime and out of control. Make a mess of everything you can find and turn bedtime town against you. This sandbox adventure is filled with comical hijinks, outrageous characters, and platforming action. So this is more of a me game than Dory. But as Dory said, she picked it mostly because the song was a banger, right? But
I'm literally listening to it right now.
yeah, this is it's a 3D platformer first and foremost. It looks like a game that would definitely come out in like late 90s, early 2000s. It feels like a PS1, PS2 game. This is more of a me game for sure. This is something I'd rent at Blockbuster. I'm digging it. That's why it was on my list. What about you?
Oh man, this song's so good. I forgot how good this song is. Yeah. I'm not probably not gonna play it. It's a platformer. Like Seb already said, he's more into that than I am. But man, at least listen to the trailer because it's got this really cool song and it's got like a little guitar solo and then it turns into a rap. It's just super fun. I loved it. So go check it out for that if nothing else.
No problem. So the next game that was on both of our lists was Crystal Theater of Idols, which I always compared it to like BioShock and like Liza P. It has a very dark, like gothic vibe to it. And Dory, you played the demo, right? So,
Yes, I played the demo.
so what'd
Tina,
you
get away from my
so what
microphone.
so what'd you think of it?
It was lackluster, honestly.
Oh,
It wasn't
that
super
sucks.
great.
That sucks. Then what about
Yeah.
it? What about it was lackluster? Like what did it?
So, okay, so one of the main mechanics is absorbing blood, right? So you would think that whenever you absorb blood, the blood looks really cool and realistic and grimy.
Yeah.
Looked like I was absorbing strawberry jam. So not great. The gunplay just didn't. Oh, I have my pros and cons. I don't know why I'm improvising like this. Um, Let me see. I have my notes. I have notes for Alabaster Dawn too, if we can talk about that. Not now, but yeah. It's so first off, it's done by Bloomhouse Games. There is a demo warning about bugs and crashes. I experienced no bugs or crashes. And it also says that, final gameplay may look different. The big conceit, or one of the big things about the game, is you use your health as your bullets, which sounds pretty cool. And I do think it's a cool concept, but it doesn't take it. You go either way on it. It doesn't take a lot of health for you to reload, but I guess you could argue if it took away too much, then it would be like super punishing, and maybe that would turn off some people. At first, I didn't understand exactly how I was supposed to reload, but I was supposed to press the left trigger and not just tap it. So I died once, and then I never died again once I understood how reloading worked. But yeah, I mean the graphics look nice from a distance, but once you get up close, it just feels like it's kind of weird. It feels like the BioShock Infinite engine, which came out a very long time ago now, and it looks like just a slightly souped up version of that. But and then what else did I want to say about it? There is a cool, unique atmosphere to it, and enemies have interesting design. But as I was about to say earlier, the gunshots feel kind of wooden. When you hit an enemy, it just doesn't really react to you at all. And like I'm okay with like enemies being a little spongy, but at least they should have some animation of reaction. And it just doesn't really connect. It doesn't feel very good to aim. A lot of people had performance issues. It has mixed reviews on Steam. Um, you eventually do this hide and go seek with a big enemy, and I found that kind of more annoying than interesting. But the enemy was cool and had good VA, but the main character has kind of lackluster voice over work. So it's kind of all over the place with the voiceover work. And then let's see. Getting away from it is very easy. If you thought getting away from Mr. X can be easy by, just cheesing it and going into the save room, you could just go into any building and the enemy the boss will suddenly forget where you are and walk around and taunt you, and it's just very simplistic. I wouldn't say it was terrible or bad by any means, but for how awesome that trailer was, man, this was a bit of a letdown. It's still on my wish list because I'm hopeful the devs can improve things, but it's hanging on by a thread, is what I'll say. So,
Yeah, it looks double A. It definitely looks even in the trailer it looks cool, but it definitely doesn't look like a Bethesda level game. It looks like a indie game that just has nice but like better graphics. The animation's a little janky in times and stuff like that. So I'm not sorely surprised by this. So all right, Dory, what the next game was Neria. What's on your list?
yeah, Oniria. This was the one of the horror games they showed, I believe, which right next to Chris Soul, so it makes sense. Area. There we go. So this is a first-person psychological horror game with a retro aesthetic. Explore the village by solving puzzles and evading the strange presence that haunts it. It's a psychological horror, survival horror. It's got some puzzles, but again, similar to the last time I said this, I didn't see any puzzles that like really blew me away with how difficult they looked on the set or on the outset. But maybe, maybe that'll change once I see reviews or whatever. But it looked really cool. I liked what I saw, and I just really dug the retro horror vibes, which reminded me of like those Flash game websites that you used to be able to go on and play just random indie horror bangers. So that just it kind of sent me back to that time.
Yeah, I just wasn't into the animation mostly. So I don't like I didn't really stand out to me that much. They're like a typical horror indie, but I'll keep an eye on it for sure. All right. Next game is Broomstick Exorcist, which we talked about a couple weeks ago. It's a pretty cool like hack and slash 2D 2.5D game. I do like the art style a lot. It looks like fun to play. Like I said, if it's like a 2D, if it's like a 2 hour, 3 hour experience, it's a cool, fun action game. I'll probably really enjoy it. The animation is not amazing. There's some jank to it, I think, but I think it looks cool. So it looks like a fun hack and slash beat 'em up kind of game, which is more a me game for sure. So we talked about it already, so I don't need to go in full detail about it. All right, the next game was Abashed, which is on both of our lists. So Dory, can you talk about Abashed, please?
Sure, Abashed. Abashed looks really cool. It lets you step into the troubled mind of Isaac as the fragments of his past flash before his eyes. You solve puzzles, meet mysterious characters, and alter reality. So it's very story heavy, which is what interested me, as well as the aesthetic of kind of like these, kind of like blank figures, very pixelated environments, wonky, surreal atmosphere. I really liked it, and again, maybe it'll be too puzzle heavy. I don't know, but I liked what I saw from this trailer. I haven't played the demo, but the demo is available now.
Yeah, this is the kind of game that looks cool to me, and then when I actually play it, I'm like, I'm just not feeling it, because these games tend to have too many puzzles and slow gameplay. So the puzzle, so I'm a little concerned with the puzzles and everything, but it looked cool, so I'll keep an eye on it for sure. It's on my wish list.
You said you played the demo, or you just from the trailer?
Just the trailer. I just keep an eye on
okay.
it. Yeah. I usually don't play demos generally, but I think it looks cool. But it feels like a kind of game I'm probably gonna think it looks cool, and then I just don't vibe with it. Another game was Desktop Explorer, which has been on your list several times now. It says rummage through an abandoned profiles of an old PC to unravel an inherited mystery. What secrets hide in this eerie adventure of cryptic games and outdated software? Who was using this computer, and what happened to them? So this is a point-and-click psychological horror adventure game. It's also an investigation game. So this is very Dory coded, especially.
Yep.
I am interested because I grew up with this kind of this era of PCs as well. So it's been on my list several times too. So I'm want to get again a game. I think it looks cool. I could easily say this game just not clicking with me. So I have it on my list just to keep an eye on it. So why is it on your list, Story?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it before, but I like the idea of kind of going through these retro, desktop and looking around and figuring out the mystery, and just I don't know, it's kind of nostalgic for me as well, just the way it's presented. So I liked that. I'm very hit or miss with point and click games. I tried Perfect Tides recently, which I felt like should have been a slam dunk for me with the kind of the 2000s nostalgia. But it's a point and click game. I just felt like it was very slow and the movement was very strange the way it worked. So I ended up bouncing off that, and now I'm not even sure if I'm going to try the Drifter. Well, I will, but probably at a later point.
Yeah.
But So yeah, point and click games very hit or miss, but I usually play them with a guide because my brain no likey the thinky. But yeah, I mean it looks cool. And the central plot is intriguing to me. So I'm hoping it's good and it's, challenging but not too tough.
All right, so the next two games are on your list only, which was Gloomy Juncture and Penguin of Colony. So Gloomy Juncture, can you
Yeah, so
talk about
Gloomy
this?
Juncture.
Yeah.
Gloomy Juncture is and right away y'all are gonna know why I like this. A neo-noir psychological thriller
That's all you need to
with
say.
point and click.
That's all you need to say. Neo.
Yeah.
What all you gotta say is noir, and Dory's there.
Exactly. I've been actually buying a lot of noir books lately too, so I'm like really living my truth on both sides of the media spectrum here. But either way,
You got to start wearing a fedora on the podcast
I
now.
really do. I
Yeah.
really do.
Black and white,
Eh,
black and white filter at all times. Sit in the dark.
Absolutely.
Have a one candle.
Just make my glasses like black and white tinted.
Drink a whiskey. Have a candle.
Yeah, the whiskey's just water.
Play
But
record
either
player.
way, again, it has puzzles. I don't know, it's point and click, so maybe I won't be into it. I don't know. I like a narrative game,
Yeah.
but I don't always like super puzzle heavy. I don't mind if it's puzzle light or even puzzle medium, but most games are either light or heavy, and there's not a lot of room in between for me personally. But I love a good mystery, love noir, love neo noir. So, and I love this art style. It's very boxy. Kind of gives me Double Fine vibes,
Mm,
like
yeah.
Fandango or Grim Fandango. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if I'll end up liking this or not, but I like what I'm seeing, and it's apparently gotten some rewards. If you look at the reviews, Swery, the guy who I forget the game that he did, but it's notoriously like so bad it's good. Um, but yeah, the one that's based on Twin Peaks. But either way, he was a big fan of this when it was showcased at an expo last year. So that's cool. But yeah, it's a puzzle game, so I might bounce off it. But I like what I saw. It looks really cool. It looks really ugly, which in a weird way I kind of like. So
Yeah. The honestly the art style for me just is what drew me away from it. I just don't really like the character models. I just think it looks like kind of like an ugly looking game. So
yeah,
it just didn't vibe with me at all. But I do like a narrative game, so if you get it, I can always try it out. All right. The next game was Penguin Colony, which I probably could have put on my list. I was kind of I probably have to rewatch the trailer. To be honest with you, 'Cause the concept was really cool because it says it's Lovecraftian, right? It's actually based on at the Mountains of Madness, which is a Lovecraft story. It's a narrative adventure game. It says swim, slide, and explore open-ended levels as multiple penguin types with different abilities and challenges. So why did you have this game on your list?
I just thought it looked so batshit weird. I really liked it. I don't know. Like other than that, I couldn't really tell you why I was into it at the time, but it just looked really unique and interesting.
Yeah.
Um, it says that there's some open world elements. You can play as different penguin. There's some story, and it's kind of obviously very eldritch and weird. So I liked that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. I wasn't like over the moon about this, but I just thought it was so fucking weird that I wanted to shout it out.
No worries. So this game on my list is Straight Roads 2, which I've talked about before. It scratches that hi-fi rush mixed with like, what do you call it? What's that skating game from the early 2000s?
Uh,
The
I do not know.
the roller skate game. Jet Set Radio.
Oh,
Jet Set Radio.
oh, just a radio. Oh, yeah.
It's a mix between Jet Set Radio and Hi-Fi Rush. It's an action musical game. I just thought because art style is very Jet Set Radio. The characters
Yes.
constantly dancing. The very anime graffiti punk rock style is there as well, and then the combat reminded me a lot of Hi-Fi Rush. So this is definitely a me game. It's a 3D platformer. So I'm very excited. I won't say excited. I'm very interested in this game. This is definitely more of a me game. Any interest in this game?
You would think with a title like No Straight Roads, I'd be into this. But like I said before, I'm very hit or miss on, sports games more generally. And I didn't play the first one either. So there's no real part for me to get super excited about. I also tried like another Jet Set Radio game that was kind of, very similar in terms of an homage. I'm not going to remember the title here,
Me Cyberpunk.
but yeah, the Bomb Cyberpunk one.
Yeah, Bomb Rush.
And yeah, and I didn't really care for it. I tried it and it just didn't really grab me. So, I just felt it was kind of clunky in some places. So,
and we're getting a remake. We're getting a remake of Jet Set Radio as well.
Right. So, yeah.
All right, the next game appealed to both of us because again, we're suckers for the nostalgic hang out with your friends punk. You know exactly what we're talking about. Like, film your friends hanging out, everybody smoking a cigarette. Take pictures of everything, record everything. Game. This is we're talking about Children of Saturn, which is a found footage coming of age story about a group of teenagers growing up under an orange sky. I mean, this is our kind of game, right? Like,
yes, absolutely. I wasn't surprised it was on your list as well. It's very, it's very Life is Strange. It's very
everything.
What was the one that just came out? Why are we so bad with game titles today? I don't know why.
I know. Lost Records.
Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. Yes, I remember Bloom and Rage right as you remember the first part. But yeah, it gives me that, and it also gives me kind of Life is Strange, like I just said. It's very cool, super atmospheric. You got female pro tags, love that. It's a it's a game about societal collapse and home movies. So you can't really get much better than that.
Yeah. Although I think it takes place in modern times, so it's not like a 90s nostalgic trip or anything. It says 20 because like the found footage says 2023 and 2020 and all that stuff.
Right.
So but they're using old school cameras and CDs. So it's kind of an homage to like the past, but it does take place in modern times. I'm curious if there's like a sci-fi element to this. Because why is there an emphasis on an orange sky? Is there like the dimension, or is it just pollution? We don't know yet. So the mystery is interesting me as well. So definitely very atmospheric. It feels like a horror game, even though it's not labeled as one, but it's giving me that vibe, like something dark's in the background. It's kind of how Lost Records was, right? Like there was like a dark mystery. Right, and we didn't know what it was the whole time, and and the mystery was really appealing. So I won't say what that was, obviously, but this definitely interests me. So it's a Dory and I kind of game. So all right, the next game was Gigasword, which I talked about before. It says it's a balance the weight of the Gigasword battling between brain and brawn, solve intricate puzzles, discover covert chambers, and slash through foes as Ezra fights to reach the top of the Nestrium and recover the God Crystal within. Can he restore the world's coherency before it's too late? So, first of all, I love that the devs have fun with this. The people being interviewed and the trailers they were doing, filming themselves and stuff like that is really cool. That's what I love about indie games too. Is the devs can be creative. They're not responding to like some corporate overlord and everything's got to be PR and professional and all that. Like they're just having fun, right? Making a game. There's just a group of friends making a game. And this is definitely more of a me game, obviously. It's a Metroidvania platformer puzzle game. The guy with a big sword. I just think it looks cool. Again, this kind of game can really get old to me fast though. If this game is like another Hollow Knight where it's like 50 hours long, I would definitely get burned out by it. But if it's a shorter experience, a more of a shorter experience, like I would say like 15 to 20 hours, then I can see myself really enjoying it. So I'm keeping my eye on it. I just wanted to shout it out. Comes out November 13 this year. And the animation definitely looks like an indie game. It definitely looks like a small amount of people worked on it. Not the greatest animation I've ever seen. Not the greatest art style. It definitely looks like an indie game, like in every term. Because even like when they show in like the character models in terms of like the art style, like with like the hand drawn, it definitely looks like it was done in like paint or something. So not the greatest looking game, but it looks fun enough. So I just respect indie developers. So just wanted to shout it out. Anything you have to say about this one?
No, we've talked about this one before. It doesn't do much for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, no worries. All right, the next game was Undermire, which I thought the art style was amazing. Like that's what the first thing that stood
Yes.
out to me about this game was the first person hand drawn animation, but it is a roguelite, so that concerns me a little bit. Usually not my kind of game, but I thought that just the gameplay and the animation alone carried it. So just before we get into it, the Steam description says explore, fight, and smush in this hand drawn roguelite first person adventure. Descend a magical bunker filled with wild biomes. Master magical tools. Manage your fear gauge. Overcome hazards. Combat spooky enemies and cause co-op experience co-op chaos. So that'd be cool if both of us can play this together.
Yeah, this had big Saturday morning. I think they even highlighted that, but big like Saturday morning energy,
Yeah,
Saturday morning cartoon energy. I
100%.
really liked it. I really thought it looked, like you said, very fun. It's not my genre generally speaking, with obvious exception of being Hades. And yeah, I just really liked what I saw in terms of gameplay and in terms of the animation, especially. So I'll keep an eye out for this. It's not something like I'm super interested in because it's a roguelike, but and if there's one thing I hate doing, it's starting over, especially in video games.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it looked really fun, and I love the Saturday morning vibes. So
Yeah, it definitely feels like a show on like Cartoon Network that I'd be
yes,
into.
I would have been watching this on like Fox Kids in the
Yeah,
2000s or something.
exactly. Another game that was on our list, both of our lists as well, was God's TV, which says it's smash for fame in the madcap 90s killfest. Meet a vibrant cast of characters in this frantic action game with zero chill, where gods feed off of fame, and fame is a weapon. So this game was, first of all, this game was very raunchy. There was a lot of like sexual jokes. There was a lot of violence. It's a very adult game. First of all, again, another action roguelike game. So this is roguelike as well. It's going definitely more on a comedy vibe. Not going for anything dark. It's pure comedy, pure fun. Um,
See now.
my only concern for this game, really, I mean, besides the roguelike nature of it, because I'm not a big fan of roguelikes. I do enjoy a lot of them, but a lot of them I don't enjoy either. I just hope the comedy is not like too much in your face, where it's like nonstop comedy, where it gets boring or like it feels cringe, like they're trying too hard to be edgy. That's only that worries with these kind of games. Like a lot of like these raunchy comedy games tend to go too far in that direction, where it's like just nonstop jokes that just don't land, and it just feels a little cringe. I'm thinking like Borderlands 3, for example. So I hope it doesn't go that far with it, which it kind of did for me a little bit in the trailer. But the gameplay looked fun. So what about this game appealed to you as well?
Yeah, I mean, again, very similar. I liked the gameplay and I liked how it looked, but you're right, definitely going for a very in-your-face kind of Comedy Central esque, like 2000 late 2000s Comedy Central esque edgy
Yeah,
comedy bit. So I'm not sure how that'll connect with me or not, but mostly wanted to highlight it for the fun animation and
yeah,
frenetic energy.
absolutely. And then another game that was on our list as well was Fallen Fates, which we talked about before as well. On Steam, it says venture into a vast 2D pixel art fantasy world, face relentless battles, and forge your destiny with vivid companions as you unravel the truth behind the falling crystals. So again, the art style, keep saying that art style looks amazing. The gameplay looks really fun. It just stands out as a beautiful game. I I love that 2D games are making a comeback, especially in the indie space. I mean, the 2D 3D mix, but this is more 2D pixel, but it just looks very nice to look at. I absolutely love to look at it, and the gameplay looks fun. I hope it's not too difficult. These kind of games tend to be hardish. So that's my only concern for it, really. But I'm totally into this. I'll probably get this day one. It feels like my kind of game. So, Dory, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, very similar to what you said. Again, I really like the RPG and the action. It feels like it's always in a tug of war between whether we're going to go turn based or whether we're going to go action. So I'm glad to see this kind of more action focused games also happening in addition to turn based, because I think there's definitely space for both.
Yeah.
But yeah, the animation looks beautiful. It looks on point. It reminded me of Alabaster Dawn, and very quickly I did play the demo for that. I thought it was highlighted in one of the showcases, but I guess it wasn't. But just want to shout out Alabaster Dawn because it had a really cool demo that Seb and I both really liked, and it was really good. So go check out that demo if you want. It's like 2 hours long. It's obviously it's free. The controls are really good, and the story and the writing were solid. So go check it out, Alabaster Dawn. But this is very similar, Fallen Fates, very similar to Alabaster Dawn. So I definitely have this on my wish list too.
Absolutely. And then the last game from the showcase that was on Dory's list was City of De La Rosa. So why was that game on your list?
Yeah, this was very brief, and I kind of was conflicted about putting it on my list at all. But ultimately, I did because I really liked the kind of weird graphic novel aesthetic to it, art style. You're a skeleton. You've just died. And your trial for the ultimate sin begins. You are. It's an interactive fiction and first-person exploration game with handmade India ink graphics. You meet the five great powers and uncover all the secrets that lie within Dolorosa, the cruelest city in hell. So it's just a really cool concept, and I don't know what exactly India Ink is, but it looks super super cool in this game. So I wanted to shout it out for that by itself, but also I love me a good walking simulator visual novel. It's hand drawn, looks really cool.
Yeah, the art style is really cool to look at. That's like the main appeal to me. Is just it just looks nice to look at. Feels like a really cool like indie horror game. No, it's not a horror game, but it feels like very I don't know like Alice in Wonderland. It feels very Alice Madness. You know what I mean? Like those kind of
Yeah.
games. That's what the vibe I was getting. All right. Last showcase was Convergence, which this is gonna be the faster one because half the showcase was pretty boring to watch. I ain't gonna lie. I just don't like interviews unless it's about like a really like a AAA
And a lot
game.
of it was also like streamers, like micro celebrity streamers, just like playing a game and then commenting over it. And that
Yeah,
I don't care how real the streamers are or how real the footage is. That's always going to feel super fake to me.
yeah. I only watch like interviews when it's like Last of Us or like some giant God of War game or something. I'm not really into like let's interview the indies on their opinion of their own game. Like I just let the gameplay do the talking and then I'll probably play it. All right. So the first game was Tome 2, which I've played the first game. I think I beat the first game actually. But it's a photographer game. It's a photo game. It says step back into the shoes of a curious photographer and set off on a brand new adventure all about uncovering hidden details, helping friends along the way, and documenting the world's little wonders in Tome 2, the sequel to the acclaimed Tome. So Tome is it's a cozy little game. It's a cozy photo game. You take pictures of your people in the town and stuff. It's very casual, very wholesome. It's a very simple platformer. It's just a cute little game. That's what appeals to me about it. What about you, Dory?
Yeah, I played. Eventually, I did play Tome as well, and yeah, I thought it was really cute. I mean, it wasn't amazing, but it was a good game. It was fun. It was cozy. Yeah, it's one of those like classic cozy games. I put about 2.5 hours on it. I pretty much mainlined it, but I did, spend a good amount of time with it. I just thought it was really cute, fun, a very refreshing kind of black and white coat over it, and you know, just a cute little game.
Absolutely. Now the next game is very Dory heavy. It's the Seance of Blank Manor, which is a detective single player adventure game. There's a mystery in this mansion. Uh, is it a murder mystery or is it like a ghost mystery?
I think it's a supernatural mystery. There could be murder involved, but I'm not sure.
So it's like more of a ghost. It says on Steam, it's a supernatural detective mystery set in 1897 Ireland, where you investigate the disappearance of Evelyn Dean in a remote hotel full of secrets and otherworldly occurrences. And this comes out actually next month on the 27th. So this is definitely going for the Halloween vibe.
Yep.
What about this game appeals to you, Dory?
Yeah, I mean, we've already talked about it, but it's a
Yeah.
detective mystery. It's also got graphic novel, comic book esque uh, art style that I really appreciate. It's published by Raw Fury. Excuse me. It's published by Raw Fury, which does some other, which published Blueprints, which was huge this year. Not my kind of game, but a massive success for them. They also did Call of the Sea, and they did a couple of other detective games that I liked. I can't remember what the heck they're called, but they also came out with Post Trauma. They've published quite a few games, so they've got a bit of a oh, Tales Noir, that's what it was, Tales Noir, and I liked that one. Oh, and Norco, I fucking love Norco. Norco's awesome. So they helped publish that, which is great. So they often publish games that I'm interested in. So that was part of the appeal for me. But yeah, I like the supernatural vibes. I love spooky stuff. Yeah, I might give this a shot again if the puzzles aren't too heavy. I'm a little worried about that. I mean, it even says puzzle at the end,
Yeah.
but it does emphasize the supernatural detective and single player elements first over the puzzles.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I could always just play with a guide. And there's a demo out, but I haven't played it.
And then another game that was on your list was One Way EXE Module 1.0, which comes out next month as well. What about it? This game appealed to you?
So this was you are stuck inside a whoops, is that the wrong one? I think that's the wrong one.
I think that's the
I'm
only
trying
one.
to find it on Steam.
Is that the only one?
Is it Module 1.0?
I think it
Yes.
is.
You're stuck inside an abandoned video game haunted by its own digital decay. You uncover the mystery of Untitled.exe, its three developers in the evolving internet eras that once shaped their friendship. So again, another kind of nostalgia horror game. They're making a lot of these days. But I don't know. I vibed with like how fucking weird it was, and I enjoyed. It's another game that's coming out in October. God help us all. But another horror game. It's got apparently some replay value, and there's some puzzles.
Gotcha. There was just too much going on for me that like it feels like a cool RT game to look at, but not something I'd enjoy playing. So that's why I didn't have it on
Yeah.
my list. But one game that did appeal to me and you as well was Am I Nima, and mainly because of the art style. I thought the art style looked awesome. It was giving me like Scott Pilgrim vibe, and that's what really drew me in. But it's a psychological horror, choose your own adventure game. So it's a puzzle game. And it says, Am I Nima is a psychological horror game where you must convince your mom that you really are her daughter. Combine words together in your brain and use them to talk. Get her to trust you. So that's the whole game. You're trying to convince your mom that it's you. And in a creepy way. So it could be an
Yep.
imposter, it could be a demon, we don't know, a ghost, we don't know. But I like the mystery. But mainly the art style is what drew me in for this game. What about you, Dory?
Yeah, same. I really love the art style. It looked really cute, really cool, and kind of cute in a creepy way. Gave me Coraline vibes
Yeah, I can see that.
personally. Yeah. It's a really cool premise to try to try to get your own mom to like trust you that you are you.
Yeah.
The way I was envisioning it when I was watching it is that you actually are Nima, but you're like trapped inside, your mind or something like that. But I don't know exactly. Maybe you're just a demon and you're trying to trick her, which is also really cool. So it had some good positive feedback on Steam so far. So that's really cool.
Yeah,
It's got like very positive on Steam out of 400 plus reviews. So that's really cool to see.
for sure. So the next two games were on my list, which was 13Z The Zodiac Trials, which is a frantic hack and slash roguelike action adventure. Take on a celestial trial of grit, speed, and power, and rise stronger after each fall as you upgrade your skills. Your trial awaits. So I thought the gameplay looked a lot of fun, and the art style is pretty cool. But the roguelike kind of turns me off from it too. It way the description describes the game tells me it's going to be very roguelite heavy, where it's like you can upgrade you do a trial, you do a run, and then you upgrade slowly, kind of like Hades. So it's something I keep my eye on. Doesn't give me a lot of confidence that I'll enjoy it, but just something I wanted to shout out. And the next game was Through Blood and Dragons, Dragon Wars. Now this game looked cool because it reminded me of that game I used to play back in the day on the Xbox One, which is like what, Panzer Dragon? But no, Panzer Dragoon.
Dragoon, yeah.
It was like a on rails dragon shooter, like Star Fox, and this is what this game's going for too. And I love the concept of riding a dragon. The story, the brief story that they were showing, it reminded me a lot of like House of a Dragon from like on HBO. And the art style has kind of like an indie pixel vibe to it. Very PS1, I would say, aesthetic. You customize the dragons and stuff. I just look fun to play. Like, if this game is a short experience and it's just a fun on-rails shooter, this definitely appeals to me. I love dragons especially, so I just wanted to shout out because I think it looked really cool. And this also comes out in October, so there's that. It comes out 3 days before Halloween, the 28th. So I might get that. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully the price is good. All right, next game was Gunboat God, which is on both of our lists. And we talked about this game before as well. I think you played. Did you play the demo for this?
Yes, I did play the demo. I think I briefly talked about it. I thought it was pretty good, but I think I gave up towards the end because it got too tough.
Yeah.
But I still have it on my wish list because it still looked really cool.
Yeah.
And it played very fun. It was a play test actually, not a demo. And I enjoyed it, but a little tricky at times.
Yeah, it's a arcade shooter, shoot 'em up, bullet hell 2D game. The art style is awesome, but it looks like a really difficult game. That's the vibe I was getting. Like, it looks like a trial and error kind of game, or just like trust your reflex kind of game, where you're gonna die a lot.
Yeah, you definitely do, especially towards the later levels.
Yeah, so that's what would not appeal me to this game, but I just love the art style. So that's what really drew me in. So, you don't plan on getting this, right?
I'm not sure if I'll get it or not. It is still on my wish list, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'll get it. Sure. I did enjoy the playtest, but at the same time, like you said, I'm prone to frustration when I die a lot. So I'm not completely convinced that I want to play it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's similar to Crisol. It's probably hanging on by a thread.
Gotcha.
Kind of situation.
Gotcha. All right, the next game I've talked about like 5 times on this podcast, which is Castlebound. It's a action roguelike Paper Mario game. I just think it looks fun to play, and it'd be fun to play with a co-op with a friend. So I think it just looks fun. So that's all I wanted to say about that. I just love the art style of this one. All right, the last 2 games of this showcase are only on Dory's list, starting with Shadows of Doubt, which, again, Dory game, detective noir. I mean, come on, the guy is wearing a fedora in the logo.
I don't even like fedoras, but yeah, you take on the role of a private PI in this immersive detective simulator.
All you need to say. You're done.
Yeah,
all you need to say.
It is procedurally generated, and there's also like an open world. It's immersive sim. There's a sandbox. So like, I don't know how I feel about all those elements, but I like the idea, and it does have very positive reviews overall based on 13,000. So, it's an indie developer and it's not perfect.
Yeah.
I guess it came out last year, but I think this was an update to it.
Yeah. I do remember seeing this before. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has a black and white filter too, Dory.
Very nice. But yeah, it looks really cool. Recent reviews are more like mostly positive rather than very positive. But yeah, there was a modifiers update announcement. So, some people say it's unfinished, but a lot more people are saying it's really good, and that there are problems and flaws, but overall, it's a really fun time. So
Yeah, it has
maybe I'll check this out.
it has mostly positive views
Yep.
on Steam. All right. The last game was Emotionless: The Last Ticket, which is step into a liminal cosmic horror experience set in an abandoned amusement park. Uncover the haunting narrative behind its twisted rides and empty tunnels to discover what lurks within a reality that shouldn't exist. This comes out October 7th of this year. So again, another October game. Dory, why was this game on your list?
I'm surprised it's not on your list. It's very horror, and it's
Yeah.
very focused on story and psychological elements, especially. Gave me kind of some Silent Hill vibes. I don't know for sure that I'll pick it up, but there was enough here that I was like, that looks kind of cool. I'm at least interested enough to add it to my wish list and support the devs that way. I'm not sure if I'll buy it,
Yeah.
but yeah, it looked kind of cool. I was surprised that it's not on your list.
It's not on my list because I was I was just worried it was gonna be too puzzle heavy. That was one that kind of walking simulator game where you just walk through the locations and find clues and so like read notes and stuff like late '90s PC kind of games. I get bored with them after a while. I basically have to follow a walkthrough for those kind of games, or I get bored. I don't like to sit there for 5 hours and try to solve like where to go. I don't have that time anymore for games, so I really get right to the point. That's the only reason why this game was on my list. Would you get this, or how are you feeling about it?
I don't know. I'll wait for reviews if a lot of reviews even show up. Some of these games it's tough to say because
Yeah.
I'm not super motivated to get them, but also like they are interesting. And if there were enough reviews that were very positive or just positive,
Yeah.
I'd at least check it out. Like with Wander Stars, which I'll talk about next week. Like I picked it up, but that's not going to be the case for all of these.
It feels like a good game for Halloween. It's just these are usually the kind of games I get on sale on Steam for like $5, like in the summertime or something, like randomly.
Right.
So we'll see. All right, so that's the showcases. I think overall, I think the 6-1 indie showcase was the best one. I mean, that was the most official big one. I think the Convergence one was the worst one. I think half of it can just been cut out, honestly. And the interesting thing about all these showcases is that they all show different games, so it feels like it was planned in a way. Because there was no overlap really, which is unusual. But there's so many games to play, and it's a great time to be into indie games. Like if you're missing out if you're not playing in the indie space. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy me a nice cinematic AAA game too. I need to balance it. I don't play nothing but indie games, but I do play a lot of indie games, and I'm glad that it's bigger than ever because right now they're carrying the industry pretty well, and there's a wide variety of genres that we talked about today for everyone to play. So there's no excuse not to at least try some of these games because like we talked about every genre in the last hour and a half basically. So go check them out. All right, let's get into our spotlights now. So, Dory, you're going to spotlighting Digimon Story, the Time Stranger, the demo for the game that comes out next month. Right around the corner. Right around the corner, really. A couple weeks.
Yeah.
And then I'll be talking about Hollow Knight Silksong. So, let's start with Digimon Story. Can you tell us about the pros?
Yeah. So, the pros are, if you like Persona and you like Digimon, you're probably going to like this game.
So
I really liked it. I really liked the gameplay. A lot of other stuff I'm a little more mixed on, but the gameplay, which is the most important part, and the general performance and graphics and stuff, all were great. So the pros, it starts off with this really cutesy like anime that you can kind of watch like for the first minute or something, which kind of introduces like the concept of the agency that you're working for in Digimon and stuff like that, and then it plops you into the normal world. And it's got like cute visuals. I think all the Digimon are appropriately characterized, and the humans look. This sounds weird, but the humans look human. Everything looks decent enough, cute. I will say a cool thing that they have, which is very similar to ReFantazio, is that you can preemptively attack enemies in the open world area. It's not really open world so far; it's very linear, but you can attack them in the overworld space. And that makes grinding a lot easier because you often do a lot of damage just by preemptively attacking. Obviously, counterpoint, if they preemptively attack you, you're in a bad spot. But it's nice because in the game you can use potions and it doesn't take a turn. Now you can only do that once per turn, but you can still attack if you do a potion, which isn't the same in other turn-based games. But that also means that the enemies can go a little harder on you, is what I heard from the IGN person who did like a big demo, not the publicly released demo, but a private demo. So, let's see what else was positive. There, you basically, if you stand still for like 10 seconds, all of your Digimon heal, which is very nice. I kind of just wish there was like save stations or just like items or something, but it heals everybody equally, and to full after like 10 seconds. So if you just have a little bit of patience, it pays off for you, which is nice.
Yeah.
I felt like combat was fun. Combat is turn-based and it's kind of rock, paper, scissors. There's like virus, data, and vaccine or something like that. It's three. It's like rock, paper, scissors. One's better than the other, but it's weak to this one, but that one's weak to the other one. So I couldn't tell you what all it is off the top of my head. It didn't feel like game breaking if like you had one or the other, but it definitely was a big help, especially if you were taking on enemies you shouldn't be taking on. And it's very clear because often the enemies that you shouldn't be taking on are like massive. They're big Digivolutions that are like 2 or 3 times above you.
So
the demo starts. Go ahead.
So you're like walking around a world, and you see the Digimon walking around. You run into them and fight them. Is that how it works?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
And then you can run away from them too, and you can preemptively attack if you want to see, if they're even worth your time or not.
Like Persona.
I felt like, the attributes and weaknesses felt important by like, I want to say the first hour or so. It felt like attributes were pretty, they felt meaningful as a mechanic. So I liked that. And then the last pro I have is that Digivolve. Remember, it's just a demo, so I don't have like a ton to say. But Digivolving feels rewarding once you can get it. I was very excited when I was able to Digivolve some of my Digimon later on and be able to use their higher forms. You have these like systems where they can use other abilities or elements that they wouldn't normally be able to do. So it's kind of like when, Pokemon go to like a move learner or something like that, but instead it's like an item that you can do. You don't have to go to a certain person. That was cool. Any questions about the pros or anything else you want to say?
Do you get to pick like a Digimon starter or something?
Yes. So there's 3 starters. I picked, there's 3 and I don't remember their names. One of them evolves into Angelomon. One of them evolves into. Two of them are from the. I think all 3 of them are from season 1, but I don't remember any of the Digimon off the top of my head. But yes, you do. You get to pick your starter, and then you don't have to keep them if you don't want to. You can move on from them. But obviously, it's the one you're going to have the furthest relationship with.
I looked it up, and it says Patamon, which is the one with the wings.
Yes.
Patamon's one of my favorites because he digivolves into like all the coolest evolutions.
Gomamon, that's the other one that I was thinking, and Demi-Devimon. I picked Patamon because I love Angemon, and a big sucker for season 1 nostalgia, which all 3 of these are. So I thought that was a cute little nod to like the history of Digimon.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
But although Demi-Devimon, his evolutions are cool too.
Yes.
He turns into the vampire one, I believe.
Yes.
Am I misremembering?
I believe you're correct.
Yeah.
And it depends also on like the on like the conditions. So it depends on your bond, and you can talk to them and like get certain stats upgraded, and all of them have their own Devimon have their own personalities. So Demi-Devimon might evolve into Devimon, or evolve into Ice Devimon, or a totally different Digimon, which is not really how it works in the show, but that's how they want it to work in the video game. That way you have access to more Digimon more easily, which I appreciate.
It kind of happens like that in the show too, but they just never like focused on it really. Yeah. But yeah. The pros sound really cool. It's a Digimon game, turn-based game, RPG. It's Persona and Digimon combined. Like I was already sold on it. I thought the art style looked really cool. I guess the main thing is the music good.
I liked the music. I couldn't tell you any of it off the top of my head, but I liked it. None of it
Okay.
was bad.
Because
Yeah.
RPGs, of all the genres of video games, I think RPGs tend to have the best soundtracks when they're done right. Right, like the most memorable soundtracks to me
Yeah.
are always tend to be RPGs. So I wasn't expecting anything amazing. I was just curious because Persona, obviously,
Yeah,
Persona.
no, I wouldn't expect anything like Refantasio
Yeah,
levels or anything like that. It was good, but I didn't find anything super memorable. But also it's a demo, it's just the first hour or so.
gotcha. All right, so the cons.
So the cons, these are gonna sound harsher than they are, that none of these actually bother me a ton, but they are notable. There's no VA, or at least there's not a lot of VA. Mostly the VA is for the Digimon, which, makes sense when
Hmm.
they're doing their attacks. But you're playing a silent protagonist, which feels outdated at this point, and it really feels like Digimon could use a win over Pokemon, and that's a slam dunk. Just have like more voice acting and more professional voice acting. I think that'd be cool. The faces look kind of blank, and when they animate, sometimes it looks kind of weird and stiff. It just doesn't look very natural when the humans kind of do their animations. Not so for the Digimon, but of course that's more important.
Hmm.
But either way, I found the menus to be a little confusing at first. Eventually, I figured them out, but I felt like the game didn't really do a great job of explaining it.
Hmm.
Um, Voice acting and lip syncing not quite the best. Sometimes just words don't match up with the lip flaps. It's a demo, whatever. And then, yeah, I already said
Hmm.
Silent Protagonist feels outdated, so I wouldn't give it a score or anything. Obviously, it's just a demo. But if the rest of the game is like this and keeps to the same standard, probably a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10, kind
That's
of
what it sounds like.
3.75. A pretty good game. Not a great game, but a pretty good game.
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting. I don't expect this game to be like Persona 5 good or like anything on the masterpiece level of RPGs. I'm expecting like a step down. I'm expecting like a 7.8 out of 10 kind of game. That's all, like a 78 on Metacritic or something like that. Like I'd be surprised if it gets in the eights, but I'm definitely interested in it because I haven't played Digimon game in a long time, and I'm just kind of in the mood to play a turn-based Digimon game. So so what you're describing to me is about what I expected from this game, which is a fun Digimon game with like dated, like with like maybe a lower budget, not as quality animations for the humans, like the voice acting not being like super high quality, which is a bit disappointing because I thought this game was gonna have full like narrative and like full dialogue and full voice acting
Yeah,
and
I mean,
everything
at
like
least
that.
from the demo, that doesn't really seem the case. There's limited VA, and
Yeah.
it's mostly reserved for the Digimon. And when it does happen, it's not winning any awards. It's fine. It's not bad. And I'm not saying it's low quality, but it's just kind of there.
Yeah, it's not like that's what I'm saying. It's what I expected. It's gonna be decent, but not like anything amazing. Like
Yeah.
it's not like an Atlas game where everything's fully voiced, even if there's a lot of dialogue boxes. So yeah, that's what I expected, and I'm imagining this game's gonna be similar to the demo. The game's only 2 weeks out. I can't imagine it's gonna be like 10 times better than what you're describing. Honestly, I mean, maybe it was like 6 months away. I can see that, right? It could be improved, but 2 weeks away, it's pretty much what this game's gonna be. I would assume,
Yeah.
which is gonna be a good but not great game, which is fine. Doesn't have to be amazing, but yeah, is that's is that everything for you
That's pretty
or?
much all I have to say. It seems like a pretty good game, and Seb and I are probably going to split it so we can play it and relive that nostalgia of Digimon.
Absolutely. Feels like a good handheld game too. I would
Yeah.
assume. All right, let's talk about Hollow Knight Silksong, our last topic of the night, which is been one of the most highly anticipated games ever. It's probably this has got to be the most highly anticipated indie game of all time, right? Like the way people were like hyped for this game, you would have thought like this is like Last of Us Part 3. Like this is like the next God of War game. Like this is the next like big thing, right? Like it's still a small team working on this game, relatively small, right? I mean, it's not a giant team making this. I think isn't Team Cherry still small?
It's like 3 people
Yeah.
and
So
and a bunch of like contracted workers.
exactly. So, but the hype for this game was like through the roof. I mean, I can't
Yeah.
say I'm not saying the casual person who plays like Call of Duty or the majority of the gamers were hyped for this game. I'm talking like in our space, the hardcore space. Um, but I'm happy to say it lives up to the hype. Is it as good as the first game? It's debatable. Does it have flaws? Yes. Is it a masterpiece? I don't think it's a masterpiece. I think it's a great game. And I'll get into the why. Why? But let me start with the positives. First of all, the art style and the music is gorgeous. I mean, Hollow Knight, the first game, had the same thing. It just has its own style that's unique and it's beautiful to look at. Every area just feels alive. There's so many variety of regions that look so unique from each other. It's so colorful. It has that dark gothic vibe. It has that mix of like they're bugs, right? So it has like a woodsy, like creepy fungi, dark forest vibe mixed with like a gothic vibe, and it's just really nice to look at. The colors really pop, and this is a beautiful, and I mean a beautiful handheld game too. Like this is the kind of game where like if you have a PC handheld or a Switch too, this is the game to play on a handheld. I think more than anything, like this is the perfect handheld game because you don't need it. It doesn't require high specs, so it will pop on no matter what, but especially on a handheld. I think Hornet's speed and agility make the combat feel more fluid and stylish than the first game. I think the combat is better in this game. I really enjoyed the combat. It's not super complicated. You do unlock more abilities as you go along, of course, but it's still relatively a simple game. I mean, it's quite difficult though, as you would expect. Um, it's similar to a Souls game. I'm not saying it's a Souls game. It's not a Souls game, but it does the same thing of like you need to learn the pattern of the bosses, and you're gonna die a lot. It's trial and error. You learn the pattern, you get better each fight, and then eventually you overcome the boss. That's basically how it works in Hollow Knight, right? Because there's a lot of dodging, a lot of enemy patterns you have to dodge. You have to jump over the enemy. You get punished for making a mistake. Just be mindful. This game is challenging. This is not a game I'd recommend for a casual audience. This is a hardcore game. Hardcore game. In both the fighting of the bosses and the exploring, because the exploration in this game has a lot of backtracking and secrets. It's a Metroidvania. Metroidvanias to me are not a beginner friendly genre, right? Because I think the frustrating thing for this game for people is going to be that you're going to get lost, right? This is not a Dory game at all, right? Because Dory's sense of direction is not the greatest, and she'll tell you that. And you spend 5 hours just wandering aimlessly through anything, right? So just be mindful of that. This is a hardcore game, but it is satisfying when you find things. There's hidden paths, there's shortcuts, there's secret rooms, and there's a lot of there's a variety of rewards that you discover for exploring things. So it's a Metroidvania in its truest form. I think the traversal is smoother thanks to Hornet's tools. So the platforming I feel like is less clunky in this game. I think the platforming is better in the sequel. And for the money it is, I think it was what 30. It was $20. It was $20. There's a lot of content for a $20 game. Like this game in Expedition 33 puts a lot of AAA games to shame. Because while your games are charging $70 to $80 for like minimal content that's like needs to be patched and needs DLC to fill in the gaps and layer on all that, you're getting like a full game, 50 plus hours if you really want to explore everything for only $20, which is an absolute steal. There's so much to this world. It feels like a real breathing world. There are a ton of enemies everywhere. There's a nice lore to uncover. This is the definition of bang for your buck. Like it's incredible how much you're getting for $20. And it really tells you something about the industry, right? That Expedition 33, which was what, $40? $30? I think it was $40. Be 50. And then this game being $20 are incredible games for the price, right? So absolutely awesome for the price. The atmosphere is unmatched. Every area feels like there's a whole story behind it. I think it's one of the appeals of like Dark Souls, like the Souls games from Software, where like every area you're in could have mountains of lore, and you can write stories about that one area. And I think that applies to Hollow Knight as well. Like every area feels like there's a whole story you can write about to it. So I think that's really cool as well. The game pushes skill. It's all about dodging, countering, and chaining combos, and it feels really rewarding when you pull them off. Again, as I said earlier, this is a hardcore game, and you need to be good at these kind of games. There's a lot of frustration. You need to be patient. You get punished for being impatient. You gotta learn the pattern. You have to learn the pattern. But when you do accomplish it, you don't. Not only do you feel like you earned beating the boss, you feel like you earned. You feel like you've mastered the game more. Like you feel like you've accomplished a real sense of achievement. Like you really, it feels like a Souls game in that sense. Like you put the work in and you've gotten better at the game, and now you're starting to pay off. Is what I'm saying. And I already talked about the variety of regions. So, any questions about the pros, Dory?
No, I don't have any questions, and really, there's no way anyone could ever sell me on this game.
Oh, sure.
So, yeah.
All right. With that said, there's a handful of cons. This is not a 10 out of 10 game for me. I think I do wonder because it has like a 90. What's having a Metacritic? Silksong Metacritic 92 and a 90 audience rating. There are issues with this game, and it's not going to appeal to anybody. Don't be fooled by the 92 on Metacritic because you would think, oh, this game's a masterpiece. I'm going to love it. This is a game for a very specific audience, just to be very clear, right? Like, Dory's a perfect example of somebody that would not appeal to at all. If you don't like exploring, you will not like this game. It's a Metroidvania. The difficulty curve in this game is quite brutal, even early, right? So if you're getting frustrated with this game and you don't have the time and the patience and you don't feel like exploring, you are going to get frustrated with this game quite early. Like, this game will not be for you right from the start. You'll know right from the start it's not for you. There's also way too many long runbacks after you die, which get very annoying because the checkpoints are way too far apart. Which is another frustrating thing for Dory. It's one of the complaints you typically say in games, where the checkpoints are too far away and you have to run all the way back. There's way too much backtracking in this game. I feel like this game has a little too much of time padding because of the backtracking, and I really wish the checkpoints were better in this game. I think the resource management feels a little stingy, like you're always low on currency or you're always saving up. I think some of the platforming sections feel unforgiving, and there's some awkward jumps that cause cheap deaths. I think the flying enemies can be really irritating, and their patterns, their hitboxes, don't always feel fair. I think the charm build system feels a little limited compared to what people would expect. I think certain sections drag a bit. The pacing is inconsistent at times. And again, that leads to the frustration. It feels like it drags. Several sections drag several times. It feels like this game could have been a bit shorter. They could have cut out a lot of the backtracking and frustration easily and just made a more condensed, cool world than what they did with this game. It's not a giant leap forward from the first game. It's more of the same. It's just a more refined version of the first game. It doesn't take it in some bold new direction. It's not like God of War 2018 with the original trilogy. Don't expect that. It's just pure sequel. A few enemy types are more frustrating than fun, especially when there's tricky platforming. And I think overall the challenge can be too punishing for some players, and you're going to be frustrated at times. And so I really think what it is this game is a popular game that people are going to feel FOMO about because everybody's talking about it. If you're in the gaming sphere, right? If you're like on Blue Sky or Twitter, or you're on forums, and everybody's talking about this game. If you're on Reset Era or any forum, you're gonna feel like you're missing out on this game, right? And then you actually play this game, and you realize this game is not for me. at all. And that's really what this game is. It's like very frustrating, very tough, unforgiving, a lot of backtracking. It's a hardcore game. I said this about Metroid Dread, and that was my game of the year. So I usually don't like these kind of games. There's exceptions, and game is the exception. I can only play these kind of games a few times a year. So this is why I can put my full-time effort into this game. I did beat it. It took me 50 plus hours doing everything. So you can beat it in less. I believe it's like 30 something hours. Dory, can you look that up for me? How long to beat Silksong?
Yeah, for sure. I have how long to beat like bookmarked at this point. For Hollow Knight or for Silksong?
Silksong.
Oh, Silksong. 26 hours, it says, just for the main story. And then a completionist run is 55 hours.
Yeah, that's about right. So you can beat this game, like, I would say 26 hours feels a little... Unless you're, like, really good at this game, like, you're just flying through it, then maybe 26 hours. I would say more in the 30s. But, yeah. The cons are... This game is really tricky to grade. Because if these cons really bother you, this game is not a 9 out of 10, right? Because those are some frustrating parts of the game. If you have no issue with those, that the game design, then this game is a 9, either a 9 through a 10. Like, this is like a game of the year contender, masterpiece, whatever you want to put. Like, it's a great game. It's going to be in the top 6 games of the year at the Game Awards, I would assume, or it's going to be at least in the indie category easily. This is so subjective. For me, it's a 9 out of 10, but it's like a weaker 9 out of 10. I'm more like rounding up, I suppose. It's like an 87, 8.7 for me out of 10. Does that make sense, Dory? Like, I'm rounding up. I can't give it a 9. It's like an 8.7, 8 point, maybe 8.5. There's times where I've like, I don't know if I really love this game. It's not my game of the year, but it's still in my top 10. It's a top 10 game for me. Maybe top 5. I'd have to do the list. I haven't done that yet, but definitely in my top 10, and it's my indie game of the year for sure. I think it's my indie game of the year. So it's a really great game, but it's very subjective, and if you don't like very difficult Metroidvanias, explore heavy games, it's not going to be for you. So it's going to be one of those games where like you feel like you have to play because of FOMO and everybody's talking about it, and then you actually play it and don't like it. And that's why I would not recommend this game to Dory. Even though I praise a lot of it, this game is not for you at all. And it's not for a lot of people that don't like these kind of games. So
I mean, you don't have to tell me. I knew it wasn't for me.
100%.
I'm very well rare.
Yeah. But if someone else though that was thinking like, oh, everybody loves Hollow Knight, why am I not playing this? And then you actually play it. Just be mindful what you're getting into, because it's a hard game. So, any questions about the cons, Dory? I think I nailed everything.
Not really. I know this is one of the most like hotly anticipated games of the year, but for me, I mean, it was just a Tuesday. You know what I mean? Like, sure. Hollow Knight never super interested in me, and Silksong never did either. So I'm not into Metroidvanias. I'm not into incredibly punishing games. I'm not into platformers. I'm not into like heavy exploration focused game. Like, this is like so anti-me that it's not even funny. So yeah, there's really nothing somebody could probably pay me and I probably wouldn't play this game, because I just get so upset. Like, I would just get so mad from dying so often and being lost. Honestly, I'm not sure what would make me more mad: how often I got lost, or how often I died, either from boss battles or being incompetent at platforming. So yeah, it's just very much not for me.
Yeah. All right. Well, for people, this is gonna be like game of the year, and for most people, I think it's gonna be about, oh, I like this game. It's a really great game. I really enjoyed it, and it's not gonna be like their game of the year. I think Expedition 33 is probably strongly gonna be my game of the year. I just don't see anything passing it. I guess the only game that has a chance is Metroid Prime 4, which comes out December 4th. But I think Expedition 33 is strongly my game of the year. I don't think anything's passing it at this point. I think Silksong was one of the last big chances of it passing it, and it's a really great game, but it just doesn't hit perfectly like Expedition 33 does. Because my cons of Expedition 33 were like minimal. Like I was nitpicking at times, right?
Right.
Why this game, like there's like genuine issues, but not like enough where I would say, oh my god, this game is like a 7 out of 10 or anything like that. Like I think it's still an amazing game. So, all right, and I think Dory, you're the same way. Expedition 33 is still strongly your game of the year. I mean, we did the whole
Absolutely. It would take some kind of modern miracle for that to not be the case.
yeah. I mean, we did a whole spoiler cast. It's one of the few games we actually like.
Yeah, we haven't done a spoiler cast and I don't even know how long, so that should really go to tell you that how it is. I mean, anybody who's like, I don't know what's the game of the year to at Jeff Keighley's thing or like what's in the front running. I'm like, come on guys, like it's Expedition 33. I'm pretty sure it's going to win all the fucking awards. At least a lot of awards. Maybe it will win game of the year, but I think it's a good bet. But either way, that's totally separate. I want to say I know I haven't talked a lot during this segment. I'm super happy for everyone who's been fucking waiting for Silksong. Now come and support people who've been waiting for Kingdom Hearts 4. Damn it. But anyway, so that's our next goal. If Silksong can come out and Kingdom Hearts 3 can come out, that means Kingdom Hearts 4 can come out, right? Right?
I mean, being a
Get my clown makeup on right now.
being a Silksong fan and a Kingdom Hearts 4 fan,
Oof.
I just been punished severely for a long
Absolutely
time.
punished. You've heard of Punish Snake. How about Punish Seb?
Yes, because like Resident Evil 9, like obviously I was really excited when it came out, but like when it was revealed, but we knew it was coming, right? Like Capcom
Yeah.
gets those games out almost every couple of years. But Kingdom Hearts 4, I mean, it's been 6 years and like we've gotten nothing on it. So my clown makeup can't be retired just yet because I'm
Yep.
waiting to see maybe we'll see Kingdom Hearts 4 at Tokyo Game Show this week, and I'll put my clown makeup back on again, and we'll do a circle. We'll put I'll get like a Sora plushie or like I don't know, put the games in like a triangle. Try to get a summoning circle in. Please, Nomura, please give us Kingdom Hearts 4. This topic is now turned into Kingdom Hearts 4. Well, we can do it, but it's relevant, right? Because Silksong was
Yeah,
the
no,
one
I mean, I'm still hoping Tokyo Game Show fucking does something, but I really think Square's new focus is for Kingdom Hearts is to not show off anything until they're absolutely sure it's ready and it's going to be out within a year.
Sure,
And so
sure. Damn, they could give us like a picture and we'd probably make a topic out of it.
I know, and that's what we did. They did give us pictures, and we did make a topic out of it. So yeah, you're not lying. Anyway, I'm back to it. I'm very happy for all the Silksong fans out there. Glad y'all finally got it. Seems like there's a lot of debate about the difficulty of the game and whether that's
So
good or
subjective.
bad. And some people think it's
Yeah.
bullshit or not, and some optional areas that are really
Yeah.
divisive. But generally, people seem very happy with what they got, which I'm glad for.
Yeah, like there is definitely some articles and reviews and stuff that were like more negative that kind of got overshadowed because people generally like it. But I think the criticisms of the game are very like they're very fair. I think I don't think they're unwarranted. I don't think someone.
No, I think so as well. I think IGN gave it a 9 out of 10, and I watched like a short video clip from the reviewer of like why they gave it 9 out of 10. It was a lot of the reasons you did, like some of the backtracking. There were some fetch quests that he didn't like.
Yeah.
There was some world design that he was confused or baffled by.
Yeah.
Just some choices that Team Cherry made that he just didn't care for. They weren't huge deals, but they were enough to make him think that it's not
Sure.
a 10 out of 10, which it all
Yeah.
made sense to me.
But I there was some reviews like I think it was like VGC for example. They gave like a 3 out of 5 or something like that, and like I could
Oh,
see
wow.
I could see I could see like, her criticisms were totally fair.
Yeah.
Like, I was like it wasn't being a contrarian. It was actually like legitimate points. But you know how people are
Yeah.
like they care about the number and they get all worked up over it.
Yeah.
Anyway, next week is the Tokyo Game Show. Oh, this week is the Tokyo Game Show. So next week we'll talk about it. Hopefully there's a lot to talk about, and that will take up most of the episode, I would assume.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what the main topic's going to be. Maybe I'll play Borderlands. I don't know. I might be waiting for a sale, or I might just change my mind and play it. I don't know. But we'll talk about some spotlights, probably some indie games as well.
Yep.
So the Tokyo Game Show can hold the episode by itself, really. So I think we're good for next week, and then the week after we'll talk about Silent Hill F. I know Silent Hill F is coming out this week, but our new rule is we're gonna wait a week to talk about a new game because I don't want to. Like, I hate when we have to rush a day before the podcast. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for joining me, Dory, on this Sunday night. Appreciate it. You have a good night.
Yeah.
And peace.
82, everybody, coming out in a few days. If you haven't played it already, go play it.
Yeah, I should play that. Honestly,
yes, you absolutely should. It's incredible.
I was waiting for I was waiting for the official release to play it.
It's coming out the same day as Silent Hill F, because of course it is.
Ugh,
yep.
All right, bye.
Yep. Bye, everybody.